As we approach 2026, I am really starting to think and be like someone who wants to be 100% honest with themselves, with everyone. Um, kind of trying to figure out what that looks like exactly. Most of the time, it's hard to really tell the truth to people that I love, especially because those types of things, especially that are hurting me, go around to affect people who are close to me, and I really try not to have that sort of effect on them. It sucks because I'm supposed to be able to talk to people, but it's not always like that. And I imagine there's so many people around who feel like that, like you are supposed to be able to talk to your friends and family about anything and everything, but when it comes down to it, it's such a hard thing to do. It really is. And I wish that was something that was acknowledged more often. That whole process, that entire process, is actually a really difficult thing to do. What I've learned is kind of going through stuff like that. Hard things oftentimes are the right things to do. You have to talk about things. You can't avoid things that, kind of where you build resentment and anger and where you feel most alone. I've never felt like I've been able to talk with people, especially people that are supposed to be close to me or that are supposed to be there for me. Going down into the deeper parts and deeper conversations is really hard for anyone, honestly. It's something that you have to get used to, that you have to train, that you have to practice. And towards the end of 2025, I've been really learning and working on being able to talk with people. I think honestly that's been one of the most helpful aspects of figuring out what I want the rest of my life to be like. 2025 has been a terrible year for me, to be honest. I am so blessed for the things that I do have, and I'm so grateful for the people I have around me. But I did a lot of things to myself without realizing. I hurt a lot of people and began to really not like myself and the things that I said and how inconsistent I would be. And I just wanted to feel better and feel happier. Um, Not even with anyone or a relationship, but more with myself than anything. I was always wondering what the first step of that is. And now I'm not even fully through the recovery process of the aspects of this past year. Um, but I definitely want to share the things that I've learned so far. In the grand scheme of things, I'm talking about learning to love myself again and trust myself, not even anyone else. I'm really trying to focus on bettering and myself and being a better person. And I think one of the biggest things is that I can't address things until I've talked about them. I can't help myself until I am not the only one fighting. I think when I started opening up to people and letting them know and talking to people, that really is when I started to improve. I felt more confident. I felt like every thought in my head wasn't beating me down every minute of every day. As I got thoughts out of my head and finished saying ideas and thoroughly thought through it, wrote things down and talked to people about it, um, that's when I started to feel better about myself. One thing I was doing before was I felt like I wasn't telling the truth with everyone. I felt like I was, even though I wasn't lying to people, just not telling people what I'm going through felt like lying. And so I think this was just another huge aspect of it. Telling people made me feel better about myself because I no longer felt like I was lying to them about the way I was feeling. About when they would ask me how I'm doing, and I would just tell them I've had better days. Having those close people in my life and finally being like, I'm struggling, and them being like, I'm here for you, pretty much made me get through this year. It's hard. It really is hard to talk about things, especially to your family who, never really see struggle or anything. Just letting them know, or letting anyone know, honestly, helps so much. It takes so much pressure off of yourself, so much weight off of your own body and energy out of your own head, so that way you're not the only one thinking about things and going through things. It feels so much better. I think that's a huge reason why I'm doing this today, and why I kind of want to do this for the rest of this year. I really want to look back and hear myself think in my thoughts and know that I grew over the next year in a positive way for myself. And if I'm getting anything out of putting this up and having people see this, it's I want people to understand that the way they feel about certain things, certain topics, is also how other people may feel. I hope that somebody out there can relate, who comes across this, who watches, and they can feel a little bit better and maybe change some aspect in their life because of my influence. But if you have anger towards someone or something, you have to address it. And you have to find peace and let it go. Otherwise, that anger just kind of wins. That anger, the doubt, the frustration, it has power until you let it go. That is exactly how I felt. Once I realized I can control things and my decisions have an impact and I can actually change aspects of my life, when I'm not just sat there and I actually try, that's when I made a difference. That's when I began to feel a difference. In 2026, I walk into the year with an attitude of, I want to be 100% honest. That honesty is going to carry me all the way to more conversations. It's going to carry me all the way to being truthful with people about how I feel when I want to open up. And it's going to help me recover with anger that I have towards myself. And it really does feel like the first steps of true growth now. So thank goodness for that.